Chapter 8, Joint. In this chapter, we'll go over the different types of joints. And so here the different types are fibrous, cartilaginous, synovial. Within the fibrous joints, there's the syndesmosis type, suture, and the gomphosis. Cartilaginous joints include symphysis, synchondrosis. Synovial joints are the ball and socket, condylar, plane, hinge, pivot, and saddle. Then we'll go through the different types of joint movements. Then we'll look at how the shoulder, elbow, hip, and knee joints are composed. Here with the different types of joints, another word for joint is articulation. So here it talks about the structural classifications, fibrous, cartilaginous, synovial. Then you need to know these bottom three terms. Synarthrotic means that you cannot move the joint, it's immovable. Amphiarthrotic means that it's slightly movable. Then a diarthrotic means that you can freely move these joints. With the fibrous joints, these are made up of collagen fibers, so little ligaments holding the bones together. The three types of fibrous joints know that syndesmosis, suture, and gomphosis are different types. First, syndesmosis. So these are amphiarthrotic joints. A good example is that these are between our tibia and the fibula. Another example is that you would see this between our radius and the ulna bones. Sutures are between our skull bones. So these are synarthrotic. We cannot move these. And so we'll underline between the flat bones of our skull. Then a gomphosis, this means tooth attachment. And so here you can see in the picture that our teeth are attached to the bones, either to the maxillary and the mandible bones, with tiny little ligaments called the periodontal ligaments. These are synarthrotic. We cannot move these. There are two cartilaginous joint types, synchondrosis and symphysis. Synchondrosis is made up of hyaline cartilage. So the examples are rib cartilages and the epiphyseal plate. Next, symphysis. This is made up of fibrocartilage covered by hyaline cartilage. These are slightly movable. The examples are pubic symphysis and the intervertebral discs. Next, we'll go into the synovial joints. These are the joints that we're more familiar with. These are the freely movable joints. For example, our shoulder, knee, elbow, hip. Now, some of the characteristics here, there's articular cartilage lining the ends of the bones. So it's where the bones join with other bones. Joint capsule means that it is covered by ligaments just holding the bones together. Synovial membrane. This is the membrane here in the picture. It's the darker blue part. So here there are special cells that make fluid called the synovial fluid. The space inside within the bones is called the joint cavity or the synovial cavity. And so the synovial fluid is within this joint or the synovial cavity. Also in our synovial joints, bursae and tendon sheaths may be present. Bursae. These are like little pillows, little cushions that help to protect against friction between bones and bones or between bones and ligaments. And so here in the picture, it shows a subacromial bursa. So it's this very small synovial membrane filled with synovial fluid. Then tendon sheaths are similar to bursae, but they're elongated. Know that these go around the tendons to protect them from friction. Next, the different types of synovial joints. With the ball and socket joints, these have the widest range of motion. Know that our hip and shoulder joints are examples. Then the condylar joints, also called ellipsoidal. So it's called ellipsoidal or condylar because the condyle fits into the elliptical cavity. These give us the side-to-side movements. These are between our metacarpals and phalanges, meaning the proximal phalanx. Plane joints, also called the gliding joints, these are almost flat, and we get side-to-side and twisting motions. The examples are the wrist and the ankle joints. Also, I'm going to add here how the patella slides over the femur. That is also considered a plane joint. Next, the hinge joint. So your convex surface of one bone fits into the concave surface of another bone. The examples here are the elbow, knee, between phalanges, also called interphalangeal joints. Pivot joints, also called trochoid. These give us rotational movements. The example is between our atlas and the dents of our axis. Saddle joint. This is our thumb joint. But more importantly, know that it's between the carpal and the metacarpal of the thumb only.